A Nightmare on Elm Street, the JFK Assassination. Yes, you've heard me correctly. If you're not familiar with the JFK Assassination, I don't know where you've been, but it happened on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger and JFK share some of the same initials, at least the FK part. Fitzgerald Kennedy and Freddy Krueger. Now we have to go back to really see what the heart and what really is going on in this world. And it started with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. If you see, they was put against each other. And as long as they was against each other, everything was okay. They made sure they both, at the time when blacks were still being hung, they both had TV time, and they both had different followers, and they both had people at each other's throats. You know, we was just in a big mess. Some of us was going with Malcolm X, some of us was going with MLK. And it's what they did with this whole other situation with JFK too. They learned how to play people against each other like they did Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. But had these guys had on the whole armor of God, it wouldn't have been able to happen to them. Now, once these two men decided to come together, as you see them there, smiling, surrounded by police, surrounded by devils. As you see them there, they came together. And that's one thing they could not have. They cannot have unity. Just like when JFK was gearing up to hook up with the Russians, share space secrets with the Russians. Look what happened to him. They had to get rid of him. I'm going to break down how they killed JFK. And the Lord shall bring thee to Egypt again with ships, by the wherever I spake it to thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there shall be sold unto your enemies, and a bondman and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, which means redeem you. So there was no way Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and any of these so-called people is going to save us as black people. But I just had to go there real quick. But we shall continue, because I want you guys to see the connection and how they making fun of the whole JFK situation and the Nightmare on Elm Street. And that hand, there's a lot of different quotes with that hand, but that hand with the claws on it is representing the hidden hand or the covered hand. So as we move on from that, but JFK was actually Freddy Krueger. If you look at Freddy Krueger, he was after all the neighborhood. And that's how the CIA felt, that he was going to destroy their livelihood. He was going to make it where their kids was hurt. He was going to make it where they couldn't be around their kids. Because a lot of those people, JFK was going to have locked up, including the Vice President, Lyndon Johnson. And Freddy Krueger, the way he looks, is also representing the way that JFK looked towards the end. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but nothing will ever kill me. Now, they killed JFK in '63, and it just won't go away. People won't let it go. Trump recently just released some new documents. Now let's talk about these two guys. This is Lee Oswald and Harvey Oswald. There was actually two different Oswalds. I want you to know this, because this was all directed as if a Hollywood movie was directed. Those are the two different Oswalds. Everybody has a role, but nobody knows anybody else's parts. The plot thickens as the nightmare continues. Now, as there was two Oswalds, I have to just keep it real with you. There were two JFKs, like there are probably two Trumps for security reasons. They probably have a lookalike for security reasons, so they could put him in this type of situation if something happens. Because this guy right here is not the same guy that we just showed. And those two guys are separate from who I believe is the real JFK, who's coming up really short here. Now, it's hard to see because it's a faraway picture, but this was actually the day that he was murdered. My bad, assassinated. As they took a turn down Elm Street, which they was never supposed to take. Now you can see a better picture of that, and that is not the same dudes. And then we recently find out that this mayor right here that got shot too, who said they're gonna kill us all, was a CIA agent as the mayor. Now let's look at Lyndon Johnson looking back and winking like, oh my goodness, we pulled this off. Now look at his wife smiling. Now, this is the time with JFK just got assassinated, and his wife is smiling. Lyndon's wife, that is. The whole community came together to kill JFK, like the neighbors of the community came to kill Freddy Krueger, who was a sexual deviant, much like they paint JFK to be. You've got the body, I've got the brain. Now this is a real deep statement. This is one of Freddy Krueger's most popular quotes. And we're going to, you know that JFK's brain was taken out.
I need you, Jesse. We got special work to do here, you and me. You've got the body. I've got the brain.
You've got the body, I've got the brain. Now it's crazy, Jesse the body, when he was talking to a person named Jesse, did extensive research on this, and JFK had his brains blown out. Now we're going to look at this video. This is one of the videos that they brought, Computer Animation. This is the History Channel nonetheless, and they got it all wrong. They don't even have him go backwards. They just have him lean forward after being shot. Now with this real footage coming up, it's going to show you a whole different thing. Because ain't no way, in my opinion, Oswald killed him. But this was computer animated for the History Channel. Now let's look at this, and I put it in slow motion for you. It's right after he goes through this sign. He's holding his throat right here. Now, oh, bam! Backwards. His head flipped backwards, yo. Now CIA just troll alternative media sites and huge propaganda program. So yes, when you're dealing with these Twitters, when you're dealing with these Facebooks, I cut off my Facebook. When you're dealing with this, just know you're dealing with the devil. Ain't nothing but the devil in the media. And if you have any connections to the Lord, you're going to leave Twitter alone. You're going to leave Facebook alone, unless you're doing it for some work. Now, I recently be mashing people on Twitter who got wicked stuff to say about blacks. It's just a media where they want you to be able to say anything they want to about brothers without nobody responding. And if you respond, you might even get kicked off for responding. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You see all this stuff this devil got? This dude has 40, had 40 at the time Kennedy was killed, 40 CIA agents in media. So how many do they have now? All praises to the Most High.